Hi there, and welcome to the Everyday Entrepreneur podcast, where I, Kaitlin Fritz, help you reach your entrepreneurial potential. Together, we can build your dream social impact business so that you can leave a legacy beyond your 9-to-5. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Everyday Entrepreneurship. My name's Kaitlin. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur, business coach, and enterprise educator who's worked with 600 plus incredible founders from across the world to build, grow, and scale their impact-led business. And I'm so excited to be here with you today on this wonderful Tuesday in September. Can you believe it's actually September? I can't. Not yet. To discuss some really practical tips on how to stay accountable and, I would even argue, inspired as a solopreneur. Now, if you are building a business, doing a side hustle on your own, you understand probably those moments of loneliness, of lack of inspiration, and even, I would argue, just complacency with the status quo. I have been there. I understand how hard and also the discipline needed to show up when you are me, myself, and I, the entire team, in your business. And I feel like sometimes in the work from home era, though it is incredible, it also, can deteriorate some of our creativity, our inspiration, our discipline, just because those lines are blurred. So today I want to give you some really practical tips and tricks I've used, as well as I've seen other solopreneurs and solo founders use to stay accountable in their business journey. So the first tip is time blocking. Time blocking is something I learned from Laura Vanderkam's book, 168 Hours. I highly recommend, if you haven't read it, please do. So she argues that we all have the same 168 hours in the week, but how people use those hours and optimize those hours are very different. And if you can go in and plan your time appropriately, you are able to kind of maximize your productivity and not drown in that boring, monotonous to-do list. You can actually move towards your goals, towards your dreams, and I argue towards your business. And time blocking is really important because it actually segments your amount of time to be dedicated for a certain task. For me, I time block in my calendar in Google so that it is there, unavoidable. I get the notification 15 minutes before, and it allows me to really set aside some time to do some deep work, to do that creative stuff that I absolutely love, rather than drowning in those list of emails. So if you haven't checked out her book, I'll put the link in the bio as well, because it is a great back-to-school summer read. So besides time blocking and kind of going on that similar sentiment, tip number 2 is the Pomodoro method. So I love the Pomodoro method. It is the tomato timer method, if you've heard that. Basically taking 20 minutes of, think of it as a brain sprint, being really focused, accomplishing the task at hand, and then taking a 10-minute break. But this is all done under a timer. And one of my incredible coaches, LaShonda Brown, has these amazing timers from her YouTube, Bootstrap Biz Advice. And they're beautiful, they're inspirational. They make the process so much more fun and engaging in my way than a phone timer. Because if I set a phone timer for 20 minutes, I'm going to keep opening my phone, looking at my phone, getting distracted, which is the opposite goal of the Pomodoro method. So I open up one of LaShonda's timers, have it on in the background so that I can stay focused without any kind of distractions. And I think, 20 minutes, it's a good amount of time. For me, I can drink a whole coffee, get some work done, and then you feel so accomplished after that short amount of time that you just want to keep going and repeating it, honestly, throughout the day. Now, my third recommendation for those who really like to have that sense of community is Groove. Groove is an incredible, I would call it a co-working app for entrepreneurs. It allows you time to really focus, but in a kind of cohort method. So Groove matches you with 1 to 3 other business owners, creative entrepreneurs in a 50-minute virtual co-working session. So all of you come on to the virtual meeting, discuss what you're going to accomplish in those 50 minutes, and then you turn off the video and focus. And it's kind of like that. I don't know if the gym mentality is right, but like you're doing it all together. You have someone to stay accountable to literally on your computer. And I really enjoy it because you also get to celebrate your successes as a group, feel accomplished, meet new people. And it's really a lot easier to stay on the task at hand when you have someone to share it with, especially another solopreneur or someone else going through this adventure themselves. So I'll drop a link for Groove as well in the show notes. Now, similar to Groove, but I would consider in the real world, don't hesitate to get a co-working pass. So I have done this in incredible busy times in my life. The fourth tip I have is getting the co-working pass because it allows you to kind of spice up your environment, get creative, see other entrepreneurs working, growing, and also if you want to expand your network in this fall back to school season. Co-working passes, yes, vary in prices. You can get ones that are crazy expensive. You can get ones that are a day pass. I always like to try the free trial because then you get to see before you buy. And I found this company, they're based in London. Hopefully they can expand elsewhere, but they're called And Co. And they're a co-working membership platform where you can hot desk in a lot of unused spaces. So think hotels, coffee shops, various kind of offices for £20 a month. And you can go on and book in advance, get a fresh scenery, and you aren't killing your bank balance. So that is a really cool option. Obviously, explore, see what other entrepreneurs use in your area, or even just pop into your local coffee shop, support a small business, see if they'll allow you to work there for, 2-3 hours, and get some out of home office inspiration. Now, the fifth tip I have is hiring a virtual VA, virtual assistant. So VAs can be incredibly useful in busy periods of your time or even just in your day-to-day. I have hired virtual assistants in peak periods where I've had tons of projects due to allow me to kind of share the burden, share the load of all of the things I have to do as an entrepreneur. And you can get VAs from a various range of prices, and I have used VAs locally as well as around the world. But this will take some elements off your plate as a solo entrepreneur so you can focus on the business at hand. For example, I don't want to have to research 100 clients who fit this certain criteria. That is an incredible task to outsource to a VA. And last but not least, to stay accountable, feel free to join a group or get a coach. Like I mentioned before, I've had coaches, I have coached people, I have kept accountability groups, and coming down the pipeline right now is the Idea to Impact Sprint, where we are taking those ideas that have been percolating in our heads and building a impact-led business with founders from across the world. And this is the first time I'm opening the Idea to Impact Sprint to everyone, not just for a certain accelerator or group. And I'm really excited because I think this will provide some newfound accountability into your business process. I am someone where if I am going through it together in a tribe, in a group, it just helps both from a workload accountability, but also from a mental mindset and confidence arena. Because genuinely, I am here to support entrepreneurs like you. And there are other entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, side hustlers who are going through that journey. So if you're interested in joining the Idea to Impact Sprint, we start on September 21st. There's still time to register. It is absolutely a free 7-day boot camp to get your business from idea to impact. Now, these were just some of the ideas I have used in staying accountable as a solopreneur, but I would love to hear, what are you doing? What are the tools, tips, and tricks you are using in your business journey? Feel free to share them on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, this has been Everyday Entrepreneurship. I would love for you to give me a follow or review wherever you listen to podcasts. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Everyday Entrepreneurship. To stay tuned and most up to date, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me, Kaitlin Fritz, on Instagram. And if you have any questions about building your business with impact, drop me an email with the link in the show notes. This podcast is produced by the great people at the Podcast Boutique. I look forward to catching up with you next week. See you then.